The Amazing World of Gumball was one of the most creative cartoons ever made, but not every version of the show was the same. Depending on where you lived, entire episodes were pulled from broadcast. Some had scenes quietly removed before they even aired in certain countries. Today, we're going through all of it. Banned episode, cut scene, and exactly what was happening on screen that made broadcasters pull the plug. Starting with the banned episodes. The Slap, Season 4. Tobias has a greeting ritual. He gives everyone a high five followed with a slap on the backside. The problem is he does it to every single guy at school except Gumball. Gumball becomes obsessed with getting his backside slapped, goes on a full mission to make it happen, even writes a dramatic song about his lonely backside. The humor very deliberately leans into the sexual undertones of it. Broadcasters in the Middle East, Turkey, and Southeast Asia didn't find it funny. They found it inappropriate, and the entire episode was pulled. It's actually the most banned episode in the entire show's history. The Choices, Season 5. During a chaotic family dinner, Nicole zones out and relives how she met Richard, stopping to free him from a log he'd got stuck in, missing her karate tournament entirely. The episode shows every alternate life she could have had. World champion, president, even a dystopian overlord. Then it cuts back to what she actually chose. Marrying Richard, fixing up their first rundown home together, and watching Gumball take his first steps. Notably, the timeline strongly implies Nicole was already pregnant before the wedding. Widely considered one of the best episodes in the series, banned in the Middle East most likely because of the premarital pregnancy. The Letter, Season 5. Darwin secretly slips a love letter into Carrie's backpack, then panics after overhearing her say romantic gestures make her furious. The episode follows him desperately chasing it through school before she reads it. It also features a kiss between Darwin and Carrie, with Carrie possessing Gumball's body to do it. That kiss is most likely the real reason it was banned in MENA and Turkey. The Test, Season 5. Gumball takes an online personality quiz that tell him he's the designated loser of the group, and the episode gets genuinely dark as he starts believing it, watching his whole identity unravel and everyone around him gradually replacing him with a cooler version. It ends with Gumball vomiting on Tobias' face. That's the reason it was banned in many regions. Not the psychological themes or the identity crisis, just the vomit at the end. The Nuisance, Season 5. The Wattersons are officially labeled a nuisance family and told they need to become a model household or face being forcibly relocated out of Elmore. The whole community turns against them and they desperately try to reform. This one was banned exclusively in Southeast Asia, and no official reason was ever given. The most widely accepted theory is that the episode's plot, authorities labeling a family as a problem and threatening to remove them from their community, was seen as politically sensitive content for that region, the most mysterious ban on the list. The Lady, Season 6. Gumball and Darwin come home early and find Richard with lipstick smeared across his face. They assume he's having an affair. The truth is, he's secretly been dressing as an elderly woman named Samantha, having found he fits in better with older women than men. The whole episode is a Golden Girls parody, and at the end, every woman in the group turns out to also be a man in disguise. Banned across Middle East, Turkey, Southeast Asia, Poland, Romania, and several Eastern European countries because of cross-dressing. The Dress, Season 1. Richard accidentally shrinks all of Gumball's clothes, leaving him with nothing to wear. He heads to school in Nicole's wedding dress. Nobody recognizes him, everyone assumes he's a new girl, and Darwin develops a full-on crush on his own brother. The episode ends with Gumball getting exposed as naked in front of the entire school. Censored versions zoomed into his face during the naked scenes and heavily edited the ending. The Outside, Season 6. Penny's dad Frankie spends a significant portion of the episode walking around in just his underwear. That's what got it banned. No romance, no cross-dressing, just an adult male character in his underwear as a recurring visual gag. MENA pulled the entire episode because of it. The Entrance, Season 6. Tobias throws a party and invites his classmates. One of the things at the party is a cologne called Cologne, and when students spray it on themselves, it makes them act intoxicated and extremely uninhibited. The whole episode follows the chaos that results from students essentially acting drunk off this cologne. The drug illusion was considered too direct for a children's cartoon, and the episode was banned in multiple regions. let's move on to the cut scenes. The Sock, Season 1. One of the earliest cuts in the show's history. A kiss scene between characters was removed from Asian, Arabic, and Turkish broadcasts before the episode even aired in those regions. Season 1, Episode 4. They were already cutting content from the very beginning of the show. The Responsible, Season 1. Gumball and Darwin are left to babysit Anais while Nicole and Richard attend a school meeting. They take it way too seriously, stopping Anais from using the stairs, smashing the TV to protect her from commercials, accidentally setting it on fire, and eventually flooding the entire house. The episode was edited for Arabic and Turkish reruns, with one of the cuts being a scene where Richard's backside is visible as Nicole forces him into the car without his pants on. A show barely 2 episodes in and already getting cut for certain markets. The Meddler, Season 1. Nicole follows Gumball to school to give him more attention, and spends the whole day embarrassing him. She hides in his locker, grabs his hand in the hallways, and at one point tells Penny directly that Gumball loves her, completely humiliating him in front of everyone. It ends with Gumball joining the cheerleading tryouts, where his skirt lifts multiple times revealing he's wearing a thong underneath. That cheerleading scene was cut entirely from Arabic, Turkish, and Southeast Asian reruns. The Banana, Season 1. Banana Joe borrows Darwin's pen and returns it covered in bite marks. Gumball takes it personally and launches a revenge mission, sabotaging Joe's glue tube, which causes a chain reaction destroying Darwin's homework. The cycle of revenge escalates until it lands in Mr. Small's office. The scene cut from Arabic versions was Gumball and Darwin beating each other up to frame Banana Joe for it. Yikes. The Flower, Season 2. Gumball becomes convinced Leslie is dating Penny and gets so jealous it literally possesses him as a demon spirit. Jealous Gumball rampages through school, gluing Leslie to a bench, unleashing bugs on him, ripping his petals off one by one. At one point, Leslie's roots are exposed and shown on screen. That was censored in certain versions, even though it's just soil. The episode also had a scene removed in Turkey due to the horror-themed exorcism sequence. The Microwave, Season 2. Gumball fills a jar with the most disgusting things he can find. Used tissues, bird poop, spoiled milk, and it accidentally gets nuked in the microwave, creating a living sludge monster they named Kenneth. Gumball and Darwin decide to raise it as their child, until it starts eating the entire family one by one. The gross jar contents shown in the opening montage, specifically the scenes involving bodily fluids, were cut from Arabic and Southeast Asian broadcasts before the episode aired in those regions. The Skull, Season 2. Gumball and Darwin befriend Clayton, a compulsive liar made of clay, after he helps them cover up trash in the boys' locker room by avoiding showers. To cure his lying, the three of them put on shock collars that zap them every time they tell a lie. That shock therapy scene was cut from the US airing, making it the very first time the US itself edited a Gumball episode. The episode also features a moment where Gumball apparently kissed Susie while under the influence of medication, heavily implied but never shown directly. That scene was also cut and remains absent even on HBO Max. The Uncle, Season 5. Gumball befriends Ocho after finding out he has a famous uncle named Mario, but Ocho puts him through increasingly violent loyalty tests, including a fake kidnapping. When they finally meet the uncle, he's just an ordinary plumber. Several scenes were cut across different regions. The groin kick from the rotten cupcake was edited in UK reruns, the fake kidnapping removed in Russia and Bulgarian versions, and the decapitation scene cut entirely in Latin America. That's every banned episode and cut scene we have for you from the Amazing World of Gumball. Romance, cross-dressing, drug references, and the occasional groin kick. Depending on where you lived, your version of the show was fundamentally different from everyone else's. Subscribe if you want more.